welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to show you how to make African waist beads. For a while I kind of played with the idea of if I should do a video or not. I haven't done a YouTube video in such a long time. The last time I did a YouTube video was a few years back when I was in Trinidad, and I made a carnival costume shoulder piece, you know, with the feathers and a pretty fabric and the pretty rhinestones and trimmings. So yes, that was, oh gosh, probably maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. I know for a fact that I haven't been in Trinidad in maybe like 2-3 years. So yeah, it's been a while. So anyway, today we're gonna make some waist beads. There's different ways that you can do waist beads. You can make it where you can take it off every day or whenever you choose using the clasp, or you can use cotton thread, which here it is. Let me show you. Cotton thread. You can use this. There's other types of thread that you can use. If you're not sure, you can go to Michael's or a jewelry making store, a bead store, and ask them what type of cotton threads that they have for beading. But what I'm going to show you how to make is the one using the thread. But let me just kind of show you my collection a little bit. Some of these are with the clasp and some of them are with the cotton thread. So this is just a few. I know it's a lot, right? And I know I said it's a few, but this is just a few of some of the waist beads that I have. As you can see, like this has a hook, right? I mean a loop with, I call that like the lobster claw, if you can see it. And so with these, you can take them off every day. You know, you don't have to wear it permanent. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Now, let me show you one that have the thread. So if you can see the thread, and it's the same thread here. And I'll tell you in a minute, like what this actually is, where you can get it from. But yes. So here, and I just put it there's a knot at the end, so the bead's not going to fall off. But, you know, in the next video, I will show you how to tie, you know, your waist beads that have the cotton thread. But yeah, so this is some of my collection here. You can actually go on my IG page, my carnival accessories, to look at some of the pictures. Not all of them I have pictures of, but you can look at the ones that I do have. And if you see anything you like, even if you don't see, but there's a color combination, just DM me and we can, I'll hook you up with that. So anyway, so before we get started, make sure you subscribe. Of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I have a lot more videos that's going to be coming up for you to watch and enjoy, and some more DIY workshops that I have coming up in the future. So all of that information you'll find here on my YouTube channel, as well as my IG page, which is my carnival accessory. So let's get started. So the first thing you want, of course, is your beads, right? So I have red today, and I have my gold. So in here is one that I actually started, but we're just gonna put this to the side for right now, and I'll work on that later. So you're gonna need your beads, of course, and today, as you can see, I'm going to be using red and gold, and your string, of course. Now this actually, and some might be surprised, I actually got this from Dollar Tree, right? And they come 3 in a pack and they look just like this. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on cotton string for beading when you could get what they call baker twine. And I actually found this, I think either in the arts craft section in Dollar Tree or somewhere in the kids section. But yeah, you can use that, or you could go, like I said, to Michael's or your jewelry making store, your bead store, any place that will sell this, or even Amazon, I guess, will have it. So you would need your twine, your beads, and this is the most important thing that you're going to need to be able to get your beads on to the string. Because just trying to stick beads through this cotton thing is very difficult. You're going to be there all day long. So, you know, we have things to do. So we don't have time to be here all day long. So, of course, you're going to need scissors. You're going to need your measuring tape, right? You're going to need thread. So you have your twine and you have your regular thread, right? And thread, you can't have thread without a needle, right? And this is just a regular hand sewing needle. And I threaded already, as you can see. So let me see. I hope you can see it, but it's already threaded. So you can thread it as best you can, right? Some people can do it with the naked eye. Some people use, I don't even have it because mine's broke, but it's a little silver thing that comes with the sewing kit that helps you to thread the needle. You stick it in the hole, the eye of the needle, put your thread through it, pull it out, and voila, right? But this, I'm pretty good at threading needles, so here you go, right? And you tie a knot. I don't know if you can see that, but you tie a little knot at the end because you don't want the needle nor the beads to fall through, right? So you make sure you tie your knot. So put myself to the side. Let me show you quick. I also use is like a little tray. Barbados, yes. So I also use a little tray. That way if I drop beads, it could just fall on the tray and not the floor. That has happened to me plenty of time. So I learned to use my tray. And I like to buy these little jars to keep my beads in because I like to buy a lot of beads. So I don't want to keep it in a little bag that it comes in. So I like to keep these little nice, neat jars. And what I usually do is use the lid from the jar. And I just pour some beads in there. So I try to hold it up so you can see. So, see? Just pour some. I never measure. Just whatever I can. Pour in the cap. I do. So, here's the red. And I do the same here. So, you know, I was looking at my little collection here. And as you can see, like, I have some reds. Right? I have some reds here. And I have, like, one gold left. Because when I did my pop-up shop, the gold was, like, the first to go. So I have one left. And I think I made this after the pop-up shop. Because I didn't have any left. But I noticed, looking at my collection, that I had no red and gold. And red and gold is a popular combination. I don't even have red and black. And I have some black beads here, so maybe later on I'll do the 3 colors together and see how that looks. I think that combination is very pretty. So yeah, let me put this down. Okay. So now hold on. Okay. There's my, so now that I have my beads in the jar, right? Now that I have my beads in my jar and my needle is threaded, I'm going to take my twine. Excuse me. I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to measure 50 inches. So now this is where my tape measure comes into play, right? So I want my twine to be 50 inches long. And the reason why you want it to be so long, actually, I usually go a little past 50 because you want to leave some room at the end. And you want to leave at least, I say, 4 inches, which is I would say 2 inches on one end and 2 inches on the other end. So I would go to 54, if you guys can see that, right? And so at 54 inches, I'm cutting it. I'm gonna cut my twine. My measuring tape fell on the floor. All right, so we're done with that for now. Give me a second, let me pick up my measuring tape. All right, so now what I do is I open up my thread, and I'm gonna take my twine, or if you're not using this type of twine, you're just using some other type of cotton yarn, you do the same. Right? So there you go. And you just put it through. I don't do halfway, I just do a few inches. Even if it's like 4, 6 inches, you know, just a little bit. And then you want to start beading. One thing I like about using the needle is because you can pick up your beads fast. You know, on YouTube, you can learn so much. And before I started doing this, I watched some YouTube videos, and I seen people just picking up the beads. First of all, they didn't use this. They have different ways you can string your beads. So like I said, the ones that's not permanent here, like this, because it has the clasp, if you can see that. The string that I use is like a stretchy string, a stretchy cord. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't want to get up and look for one to show you. What do you think I should? Well, I just put in the description, I will put the different types. But yeah, this is like a stretchy cord. And so they would take the beads one by one and thread the stretchy cord. Good God Almighty. Like I know they was there for a long time doing that. But when you use the needle, it goes by so much quicker. All right, so now I think it's thread. And what you want to do, and this is an important step, you want to make sure you tie a knot at the end because you don't want your beads to fall off, right? So you're just going to tie a simple knot. You can double tie it if you want. Or you could just tie one knot. I like to double tie it just to make sure the bead is not going to fall off. So there you go, my knot. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my red, and I really don't have any particular pattern. Sometimes I'll try to sit down ahead of time and I think of a pattern, and sometimes I just say, I'm not going to go with a pattern, and, I just do anything like this. Like no particular pattern. This. No particular pattern. But, something like this with the Jamaican colors that I use here. This was a pattern. Here's another one I did using the same gold that I'm using today. This was a pattern. But with this one, I really have no particular pattern. Sometimes as I'm working, like a pattern will come to my head, and then I just, go with that energy and follow that pattern. So I'm going to adjust the camera, lower the camera so you can see my hands and see what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay. I think that's good. All right, good. So here's the needle, right? Here's the needle. So let's start with the reds, right? And you just basically pick up. So see how I don't know if you saw that because my hand was there, but I picked up like two one time. And you see how it falls onto your regular thread first. Now watch what happens when you get to the twine. All you have to do is just slide it. So simple that is. And just push it all the way to the end. And there you go. Such a simple way, right? So let's do one more red to make it 3 before we switch to the gold. So I have a pattern that I'm going to use. 3 reds, 2 golds, right? And so here's my 2 golds, and I'm just going to push it down. So I'm just doing this like this to show you. See, there you go. And it comes on so easy. Right? So I got my 3 reds. And let's pick up some gold now. And my 2 gold. And I just drop it. And sometimes I just keep going. I don't even like keep pushing it down every single way. I just let it drop on the regular thread. So you see how I got 3 golds on here, but I only want 2, so I'm going to take one off to keep going with the pattern. My table is a little shaky, so if the camera is shaking a little bit, I do apologize. So that's 2. So I think I have enough here, all right? So let's push it down because you don't want to put too much. I'm always afraid that as I'm pulling on this, to push this down, because you know I'm pulling this to make it tight so I could push this down. I always feel like I'm gonna pop my thread, not the cord here, but the thread, because the thread is of course much thinner than this, right? It hasn't happened yet, but I always have that fear, so I try not to put too much before I just push it down. So see how fast it's already growing? I haven't timed myself yet in doing this, but it's definitely a lot easier to do compared to stringing your cord, your stretchy cord, one by one. So you don't have to follow this pattern that I'm doing. You can actually do whatever pattern you like. You can use whatever colors you like. Be creative as possible. Be artistic. Yeah. So, just to tell you guys a little bit of this stuff here. So like I said, oh, I just stuck myself. I met a woman quite a few years back who makes lock adornments. When I say locks, I'm talking about dreadlocks. I don't like to use the word dreadlocks because dread is short for dreadful. And I don't believe locks are dreadful, right? But she makes lock adornments. Lock adornments are hair jewelry for people who have locks. And she would make these adornments and sew them into your hair, into your lock. And she was doing one of my girlfriend's locks at the time using a regular needle and thread, and she stuck herself. And she says, oh, I just stuck myself. That means I'm going to get a blessing. She was like, that means you have a beautiful soul and I'm going to be blessed. I thought it was very strange. I never heard anyone say that before then and even since then. I don't know how true that is, but I know doing waist beads, I have stuck myself so many times. So I don't know if that means I'm blessed a lot. And I would like to think that I am. But for some reason, every time I stick myself, this woman comes to my mind. So yeah. So like I was saying before I kind of went off on me sticking myself. So yes, I have an Instagram page called My Carnival Accessories, because I am a carnival junkie. I'm always in Trinidad for carnival, Barbados. I'm going down to Miami shortly for carnival. So with my page, like it shows you, of course, the waist beads, because I think waist beads look so beautiful when you're wearing your costume, right? But it also showed different things for you carnival lovers who like to play mass, or the ones who always wanted to play mass in somebody's carnival. So you have their body wears and your wire bras and your headpieces and all these things on my IG page. So make sure you go to my IG page and you check it out. So I'm doing this kind of slow. I'm usually faster than this. But I know you don't have all day to just sit down and watch. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. And when I come back, it'll be all done. Okay, so hi guys. So what I actually did is pause the video because I know y'all didn't want to go through that whole sit through of me doing the complete waist bead. So what I did is I paused the video, and if you haven't done so yet, you can pause your video now and complete your waist bead and then start it back once you're done. So now once you're done, your waist beads look like this, right? And like I was telling you before, you want to leave room to tie. So I left about 8 inches for, I think it was 8. Yeah. So I think I left about 8 inches. So it can be 4 on one end and then 4 on the other. So you don't see the extra string here right now because when I beaded the string, I push everything to the end. But like I showed you in the beginning, see if y'all can see, I put a little knot there so that the bead doesn't come off. But now when you're ready to tie your waist bead around your waist, and I'm going to show you in another video, how to tie your waist bead. But when you're ready, you're just going to slide your waist beads. That's on this end down. So you can have an extra 4 inches on both sides. All right. So that's about it. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And there's going to be a lot more videos to come. Like I said earlier, I haven't done a video in quite a long while. And I decided to get back into doing these videos. So stay tuned for the next video coming. My next video will be tying your waist beads, which is really easy. So stay tuned. Thank you guys. Love you. Oh, don't forget, make sure you follow me on IG, and that's My Carnival Accessories. You're going to see these waist beads and some of these lovely waist beads and more. So enjoy your day. Have a blessed one.